3, 2, 1. We are live. Radlin and John from Gardner Mendoza Immigration Law Firm. How's it going, guys?
How's everyone doing out there?
We are hanging in there. John and I were just talking, I think we're in week 7?
Yeah. Well, the original order from the governor was entered on March 23rd, but the schools had already been out for over a week at that point, and so we're starting week 7. Pretty crazy.
I'm feeling good. I'm always feeling good and excited to be on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
I know you are too.
I love it.
Just gets us all pumped up to be able to talk about what has happened in the past week. But thank you guys for joining us again. We're getting a lot of great feedback from the community, so we really appreciate it. We do have a favor. If you like the page, please like it so you can get updates, and share it for those who might get use out of the information. So we really appreciate all of your support. Oh, look, and our #1 fan.
My mother. Hi, Mama.
Hi, Rena. Also, hi to my mother-in-law. She's watching, tuning in from Akron, Ohio. So thanks for that. We appreciate you guys being here. So a lot has happened actually since we last saw each other, which was 1 week ago. And for those of you all who tuned in last week, we did our Facebook Live. We got off the Facebook Live. Trump's executive order basically was published right after we got off of the first Facebook Live, and we jumped back on to give you guys a quick overview of it. Hi, Miss Mitzi. Thank you so much for joining us. And so I just want to go over that.
Yeah, many of you may have missed the second when we jumped back on, so we want to go back over that in some detail so that you all know exactly what that's all about.
So we created an infographic and we did post it on our page. It looks like this. And we also sent it out to all of our clients as well as the people on our email list. So if you want to jump on that email list, shoot us your email in the comments. But the big thing about Trump's executive order is the scope of it. So we thought it was going to be a much larger scope, and it just turned out that it wasn't. John was correct. John predicted that it wasn't going to be as bad as we all thought. Hi, Miss Myrna. How's it going? And he was right. So the big thing is that it only applies to people outside of the United States who are applying for immigrant visas. And so when I say immigrant visa, I mean you're applying to become a lawful permanent resident of the United States, and you're outside of the United States. So it does not apply to anyone here in the United States going through this process, thankfully. And one other thing to mention is that it is temporary. It is a 60-day ban. So 60 days, this is going to go away hopefully in 60 days. There is a possibility that Trump will renew this, but for now, we're talking about a 60-day ban. Right. And who does it not cover? Who does it not cover? So do you want to?
Well, I was just going to mention very quickly that the language in it says that it expires in 60 days, and it says that it shall expire in 60 days unless it is renewed. So if the Trump administration doesn't take any action to extend it, then it automatically expires, which is better than having the reverse of that. That's what I just wanted to point out.
Right. So it doesn't apply to people who already have lawful permanent resident status in the United States, or if you already have a green card and you're outside of the United States, or you have an immigrant visa because you've already gone to your interview and you've been issued that immigrant visa and you're about to come into the United States. So it doesn't apply to that set of folks, those set of folks. And also does not apply for people applying for non-immigrant visas, such as H-1Bs, the tourist visa, the student visa, L-1As, intracompany transferees, O-1. So if you have a non-immigrant visa and you're going through that process outside of the country, then it does not apply to you. It does not apply to healthcare workers and other healthcare workers who are fighting COVID-19. It doesn't apply to EB-5 investors, adoptees of U.S. citizens, and immigrants who will further U.S. law enforcement objectives, as well as the spouses and children under 21 of United States citizens, and immigrants whose entry into the United States will be of national importance to the United States. And I'm looking at this infographic. Are we missing? I think the word. No, it's in here. So also military members and their spouses and their children. So it doesn't apply to a whole host of people. Again, it's very, very limited in scope. And we just want you guys to know that if for some reason you have a question about someone who may be out of the country and whether this is going to impact them, shoot us a message, give us a call, and we can help clarify. We have been clarifying these questions over the past week after this has come out. So please let us know. Yeah,
the order is said it's Trump's executive order banning immigration, and when you read that, it jumps out at you and seems pretty startling. But when you really dig down into the nuts and bolts and the details of it, it's very limited in scope. So we're relieved about that.
Yes. And then the impact on the current policy right now is not that great because all of the U.S. embassies right now are closed anyhow. So no one is going in for their immigrant visa interview at the moment. And so hopefully this is just a short pause and things will get back to normal as soon as the healthcare situation gets back to normal. So that is a quick update on that. And y'all know I was a little fired up last week. Yeah. Got back on just a few minutes earlier, and I don't really like to have news and things like that just sway my emotions, but sometimes that does happen. And thankfully my husband was right, and he's always right. He's always right. So
well, yeah, and as a practical matter, I mean, it doesn't change that much for now because a lot of immigration has been on hold right now anyway, as a result of government agencies being closed, embassies being closed, so on and so forth. So things have been a little stalled out anyway in terms of actual in-person hearings and visits to embassies and that kind of thing. So it doesn't change much. Obviously, we're hoping it just ends after the 60 days and expires, and the economy is starting to roar back to life and health, and that there are plenty of jobs for people to get. And so, because the purpose of the order, the stated purpose is to protect American workers who are going to be seeking jobs at the end of this whole situation, and the economy is going to be tight. And hopefully we can come back quickly as a country, and the purpose of the order won't be needed anyway. So.
Right. So Rita asked for my email address, and I typed it into the comments. It's radlin@gmlaw.net. Thanks, Seth. radlin@gmlaw.net. That's radlyn@gmlaw.net. That's right. Relationship Goals, Gardner Mendoza. We do more than Facebook Live. Trust me. We went for a bike ride today, for example.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Our 9-year-old learned how to ride a bike a couple of days ago, and now she wants to ride it all the time. So
Non-stop. So we're happy to be home to just basically cater to her every bike riding whim at any given moment.
As it should be.
As it should be. So do you want to do Virginia courts?
Sure.
Closing updates?
Sure. So not much has changed with respect to the courts. All the Virginia courts have been closed now, extended through May 17th. So if you have a case between now and May 17th, your case is going to be continued to some later date. So when your court date comes up, the court will select a new date, and you'll get notice about that new court date. There are some exceptions, as there always have been. Initial appearances are still going forward. Bond hearings are still going forward. Bond appeals are still going forward. Determination of counsel hearings are still going forward. And written plea agreements and other plea agreements that involve someone who's in custody, my understanding is that those are being heard as well, since those folks are being held no bond. The federal courts are also closed longer through June. And so if you have any case in federal court, that also is going to be continued to a later date. So my advice to you is, if you have an attorney, obviously contact your attorney and ask them about your new trial date. DUIs and criminal cases are being set in the middle to the end of June, Judge Lon, the Chief Judge of the General District Court in Virginia Beach, advised the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office that he wanted them to be reaching out to counsel for the defendants to be setting those cases toward the end of June. All the other cases, say you have a speeding ticket or reckless driving or suspended operator's license, some sort of a traffic case like that, and your case was today or it's on early May, those cases are just automatically getting continued. And those continuance dates are all over the place. I mean, I've had some cases get set in June, July, August. I even have a case today that got continued to September. So just keep an eye on it. If you have any questions, if you're one of our clients, you already know what your new court date is because we're obviously notifying people the moment they get updated. But if you don't have an attorney and you're not a client, that's fine. Feel free to contact me and I will be happy to track down your new court date for you. My email is jcg@gmlaw.net. All right?
Okay, so we have a couple of questions here. Raquel, how's it going? Great to see you again. Great to see your question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the question is it true a U.S. citizen should refrain from filing unemployment if they have an immigrant spouse who is in the beginning stages of applying for residency, both living in the United States, legally married recently? So that's a really great question. It goes to the new public charge rule, whether that is going to indicate to a USCIS officer that this family has low income and potentially the beneficiary who is seeking the lawful permanent resident status is going to become a public charge of the United States. So Raquel, the USCIS officers are supposed to be looking at totality of the circumstances when determining whether a person is going to become a public charge of the United States. So that is just one factor. She says, nice beard. Yeah. It is nice. It grows Raquel. Really fast.
Appreciate that.
I'm glad she didn't say nice beard, Radlin. So that is just one of the many factors that USCIS officer is going to look at. So if the person is filing for unemployment and it's just for a few months and it's a blip and the whole world is going through this financial disaster right now. And so hopefully when that couple's green card interview is before the USCIS officer, which again is probably going to be, if we haven't filed yet, we're talking about 10, 11, 12 months maybe because of the backlog now. then it should be okay. I mean, I would not recommend to anyone not to file for unemployment benefits if they're eligible and they need to support their family because of this particular issue. But it's a really great question. And again, it can signal low income. And I will just go ahead and jump to the other question about this. It's very similar. And it specifically asks about food stamps for a U.S. citizen husband and their 2 U.S. citizen children. My family is struggling right now. I'm filing for the green card based on marriage to my husband. We have 2 kids. My husband wants to apply for food stamps for him and my 2 kids. Will this be a negative impact on my green card application? And again, that is in reference to whether this applicant, this beneficiary, is going to become a public charge of the United States, because during this period of time, U.S. citizen husband and U.S. citizen minor children had to go on food stamps. Again, I'm really hoping that they're going to take into effect that this is something that the whole country has had to do. They've lost their jobs and they may need some government assistance and service. But again, it could indicate low income. So looking at the totality of circumstances, it depends on how long this is going on. But generally speaking, if the U.S. citizen spouse and the U.S. citizen children receive the food stamps and the benefit, it does not get counted against the applicant that they have used it, because they haven't. It's for the citizen, spouse, and children. So, but again, on the other side of that, could signal low income. in general, it's going to be totality of circumstances. So if you guys have any other questions about that, let me know if I did not answer it sufficiently. You can shoot me an email, radlin@gmlaw.net, or you can also shoot us a message on Messenger. Great question, though.
And you're very welcome, Raquel. Raquel's the best.
She's the best. You guys are all the best. All the people on here. Thank you guys all for joining and watching. We get excited to come on.
We do.
Yeah.
So how about USCIS? What's the update with that?
See, what did I tell you guys last week, right? I said, we got cancellation interviews. They haven't published anything yet. I was right. Yay, yay. All right. So I was right. And so USCIS is going to be closed for in-person interviews at least until June the 4th. So, the language on their Facebook post as well as their website is at least until June the 4th. And what that means is USCIS is not seeing in-person interviews or appointments. So that's going to be biometrics appointments. And that's also going to be interviews for U.S. citizenship, interviews for lawful permanent residency in the United States, interviews to remove the conditions on your green card, or anything that requires an in-person interview, including a naturalization appeal, the N-336. So those are still on hold right now. In-person interviews, guys, I want to just emphasize that, because that brings me to another FAQ that we've been getting over the week. And, again, the FAQ, the question that we have been getting is, we've got this Trump executive order. Should I file my case right now? And again, our answer is still yes. Our answer is still yes. Please do not let Trump's executive order have a chilling effect on what you do with your immigration case if you can file for something. Okay, that's the last thing that we want to see happen. So this particular question was about my parents are abroad. I'm a U.S. citizen. I want to file for them in order for them to immigrate to the United States as lawful permanent residents. Can I file the I-130 right now, or should I wait? This particular question said, should I wait 6 months until Trump's executive order is done? Well, first of all, it's only 60 days, right? So it's not 6 months. And yes, if you're in that situation or any other situation where you are eligible to get an immigration benefit, please file, because the closures are only for in-person interviews. And see, I'm getting all excited again. But bottom line, please file. USCIS, for all intents and purposes, is still open. Our friends in the Norfolk office, they're still working on cases. They're just not seeing people in the office. So please file. That's my big message for the minute.
That's a good message. There's no reason to not be pushing forward, because again, there is light at the end of this tunnel, and things are going to be reopening in the not too distant future. I'm starting to see a lot of positive signs, and once that starts to happen, things are going to start to happen very quickly, and you're going to want to make sure that you haven't let all this time get by you. You want to make sure you're in the same place in the queue where you were to get in the queue, so that when things open up, you're first in line. All right. Also, I forgot to mention, regarding the DMV, this was something else that people have been inquiring about. It is closed until May 11th, and if you have a license that expires between March 15th and June 30th, it's automatically extended 90 days or until July 31st, whichever comes first. All right, and if you qualify, you can still renew your license via mail, which is another example. Agency still working behind the scenes, even though you can't have face-to-face contact right now. Things are still getting done, so you want to make sure that you take care of your license. All right. And Raquel, thank you for the answer. Last week, a question had come up. There's been a lot of specific stuff about the beach, and one very specific question. We all know that there was an exception in Governor Northam's order that allowed for exercise and fishing at the beach, and the question is whether you could sit down while fishing, because you're not otherwise allowed to sit. And
I think that was my question.
Well, other people have been asking it.
Can I sit down? I don't fish yet. I'm gonna have a fishing license. It's gonna be totally legal fishing license. Can I sit down in my beach chair in a bathing suit fishing?
Well, the inside scoop, as my mother would say, is that no, you can't sit down while fishing.
Did you tell me that when you found that out?
I just got the answer just now.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's right. That's what Raquel is saying here in the comments. You
Yeah.
cannot. Who is this friend, Raquel? I want to know. Who is it? Is this a good source?
Is this a judge?
Can you tell who the source is, or
We don't need to know the source. I trust you completely.
I kind of want to. Okay, I mean,
She's just curious.
it's not like I go to the beach and suntan. I mean, Filipinos, we don't tan. We hide from the sun. We're like, umbrella. Anyway, hey Sam, how's it going? Everybody else who has joined us, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, go ahead and pop them into the comments, and we'll be happy to address them and answer them if we can. All right. So let me circle back about immigration courts are still closed until May the 15th for non-detained hearings, as well as, but they are open for filings and detained hearings. So that's the closing for immigration courts. And again, abroad, U.S. embassies are pretty much closed right now, unless you are a U.S. citizen and you have emergency services requirements. All right, so here we are. Want to give that update?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, for those of you who have been following, those of you who are small business owners probably, or if you're not a small business owner, you may not have paid much attention to this. But there is a program called the Paycheck Protection Program. And the Paycheck Protection Program was something that Congress passed that was designed to help small businesses cover their payroll costs while they're in this period of not having any new customers coming in because of the shutdown and the quarantine because of COVID-19. In any event, they had passed originally, I think, $349 billion. The money ran out pretty quickly. You may have heard some of the funny stories that were attached to it. My favorite, of course, is the Los Angeles Lakers apparently applied for this loan and got it, but are returning it now that it became public that they had received it. It is a loan, but it's going to be a forgivable loan. So it's essentially a grant. So if you have a small business with 500 or fewer employees and you are concerned that because of coronavirus that you may have trouble keeping all of your employees around, not laying anyone off or letting anyone go or furloughing anyone, then you can apply for this and it will cover your payroll for 8 weeks, all right, and then a little extra. It's an average month times 2.5. You can also use it to pay for rent, utilities, and health insurance. The money ran out, but then Congress added more money to it, and so things are up and running again. The website, the SBA website, apparently had crashed. The portal had crashed on Monday because of the crush of demand for this money. But my understanding is that it's up and running again now. So if you have a small business and you're interested in pursuing this, I highly recommend it. It's not super difficult. There's some stuff that you'll need to submit, but your bank can hopefully tell you what they'll need. Well, they will tell you what you need and answer any questions to walk you through it. Or if you want, you can email me. I'm happy to lend any assistance that I can and give you information on how you go about doing this. Go to your bank, tell them you want to get in the line to do this, get it submitted, because this second round of money, I guarantee it will go up, it'll dry up very quickly as well, but it's still active. So jump in line now and take advantage of this. It's a really great program. It's had a few kinks, some glitches along the way, but for the most part, it's been very, very effective. And I know that it's helping a lot of our clients who have small businesses. And so if you want to get that, jump on board. All right, do it now. Get in the line, because who knows? There could be a third round. Even if you read that the second round of money has run out, you never know. They could add a third round of money to it. Okay? And if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be more than happy to help you out. All right?
And look, Aunt Jill from South Florida says, very interesting. Thank you for your presentation.
Yes.
Thank you for supporting us, Aunt Jill.
All the way from
Everyone
South
on
Florida.
here are family members. Just kidding. You guys are family members. You're the firm family. And Seth mentioned, did you mention this, that Shake Shack returned 10 million?
Yeah, Shake Shack did as well. Just a couple other little details. Most of you know about these. The stay-at-home order that was put in place till June 10th is still in place. And the original order dealing with restaurants and other businesses, essential, non-essential, so forth, that was Executive Order 53, is in effect still until May 8th. Violation of the order is a Class 1 misdemeanor, so technically it carries up to 12 months in jail and a $2,500 fine, or both. I have a friend who's a magistrate in Norfolk, not in Virginia Beach, but he said he has not seen a lot of people getting charged under this, but it still is technically the law right now. So be careful, all right? Go ahead and fish, just don't sit down while you're fishing.
Can you sit on your haunches?
Jog. Yeah, you can jog and fish at the same time.
We did something pretty risky today. We watched the sunrise, and I brought the beach chair out.
Yeah, we did.
It was very risky, but shh, don't tell anybody. It was good. It felt
normal.
No, it felt risky. It felt risky to me because it's a Class 1 misdemeanor, but I didn't sit in it. I just brought the chair out. Okay, someone has asked about, let me just see if I can pull this question up. Someone has asked about if your advance parole document expires during COVID-19, do you have to renew it? Do you have to pay again to renew it? And my question is this through the green card application, or is it through something else like TPS or DACA, which I don't think is even available right now, but not DACA, but advanced parole through DACA. So if you are, and I'm not 100% sure about this, but Tony, if you have advanced parole based on the green card application where you paid your $1,225 fee, TPS, yes. So yes, you do have to pay again. Sorry. If it is a renewal for the advanced parole with a green card application, I believe you do not have to pay that again. You don't have to pay for the work authorization document. But if it's for TPS, yes, I'm going to say that you do have to pay for that again. Sorry that that expired on you, but they're not renewable with no fee. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm sorry that it is the answer that it is. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've covered.
Yeah, one thing that I forgot to mention, the Paycheck Protection Program is a federal program, of course, but yesterday evening, and I apologize, I don't know a whole lot about this yet. I'm going to dig into it and find out more, but yesterday evening, apparently the Virginia Beach City Council approved $1.5 million for an economic development investment fund. And similarly, it is going to apply to small businesses, even smaller than the federal. This one would be 250 or fewer employees. And employers, business owners can apply for this and ask for a grant that'll be capped. $10,000 is the maximum amount that you'll be able to get, but it's for rent assistance and utility and just general business expenses. And apparently they're going to start accepting grant applications for this on Monday, May 4th. So I apologize that I don't have any more detail than that, but I'm sure if you look into it, you can find out more about it again.
Amazing as far as getting the money out to the people. But what, if anything, can my friends in other states like Tennessee, North Carolina, both individuals and small business owners do to get through the waiting period? Just like this, biting the knuckles.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything to do other. Are we talking about the waiting period?
Well, I don't know. It says the money out. You mean
for the second round? The
second round under the Paycheck Protection Program, or are you talking about the straight stimulus checks that were supposed to go out? That I don't know what money he's referring to. I'm sorry.
Yes, Seth, if you want to clarify that, John can answer that for you. Also want to mention, again, we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but May 1st is right around the corner. It's on Friday. and John and I will be paying a visit to our Newport News office. So again, we will be seeing clients there very soon, and we're super excited about having an office in Newport News.
We really are excited.
We
We've wanted for a long time to have an office in Newport News so that we could better serve and more easily serve our clients up there. And so we're really, really excited about it.
Yes. So keep a lookout on our Facebook page for updates on that and how you can book an appointment to see us in Newport News. And again, we're super excited. And if you guys want to drop lunch off for us or any type of homemade foods, we'll let you know when we're going to be there in Newport News. Seth, for example, my aunts better be coming with some food because, yeah.
First, he's talking about unemployment.
Yeah, unemployment. Gotcha. I think unemployment is by state.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we don't know too much about North Carolina unemployment.
No, I really don't. And again, hopefully they're eligible for and are receiving the federal stimulus checks that supposedly were going out. And I don't know what the status is with those, unfortunately.
Miss Villanueva says the best lawyers from Virginia. Love them. We're not allowed to say that, but you guys can.
That's right.
Thank you.
That's right.
Really appreciate it. Yes, Seth says we have punts it by the boatload. Yeah, awesome.
And while we're thanking people, I did want to give a shout out to the Virginia Beach Bar Association. They've been doing a wonderful job with the updates regarding the courts. They send emails regularly. Every time one of the judges enters a new order or extends something or tweaks something, we get an email from the Virginia Beach Bar Association. So kudos to them for really staying on top of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many kudos for all the people out there who are just going above and beyond. You know, our healthcare workers, our teachers are struggling to figure all this stuff out, the parents who are trying to help. Yeah, I don't do too well with the homeschooling thing. So Ray said she was scared of me when I was teaching her long division. I'm like, yeah, I had to walk away from that.
To my mother and my Aunt Jill, who are both watching, who both teachers their entire careers, always had a lot of respect for you, but now have even more respect for you.
Yeah, we're going to just have to go without learning the long division for now. But anyway, does anyone have any other questions? Like I said, we love jumping on here and answering questions that you guys have and seeing people we really hope that you guys are doing okay. If you need anything from us, please let us know. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, if we may be able to help you, even if it's not law related or what we do related, couple related, couples goals related. Who do you think's wearing shoes today? Me or John? That's the question. Somebody type in who's wearing shoes right now. Yeah, that made your mom smile. The teacher's kudos.
Or the shoe thing.
No, I think the comments come a little bit later. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. Are you still going to hold office in Virginia Beach and Norfolk? Absolutely. Gosh, let's just back up here. Let's back up.
Everybody knows that I'm wearing the shoes.
Yes, I'm an island girl. Why do you guys think John is wearing shoes and I'm not wearing shoes? I don't get it.
I don't either.
It's okay. Well, we'll get back to that later. But question was, will you still have an office in Virginia Beach? Yes, Virginia Beach will always be our home office.
Yep.
And Newport News is going to be our satellite office, and we're excited to open that up, and we'll be there several times a week. But Virginia Beach is definitely still going to be up and running. So don't get the wrong idea that it's not. Okay, we have another question. You guys are right. John is wearing shoes, and I am not. We're both wearing pants, though. All right, let's see. What is the? I want to file my application for residency. What's the effect of me during this time? So this is a great question. Yeah, I'm not going to read that comment. So this is a great question, and kind of what we were talking about a little bit earlier is, should I file the my application for residency at this time, and what is the effect? So if we're talking about filing for lawful permanent residency based on, let's say, a petition filed by a spouse or a parent or a U.S. citizen child for a parent, And there is really no effect on that application right now, because that is filing a petition is the very, very beginning of the process. And that part of USCIS is still open, operational. There's still, if you file an I-130 petition along with your green card application, you're going to get receipts for every single thing that you've filed for, and they will come within 3 to 4 weeks, as they have been. So our office has been getting receipts. We've been getting decisions, we've been getting approvals, we've been getting work permits in the mail. So everything that does not involve an in-person interview is still moving forward. They're still working on it, and absolutely 100% encourage you to keep filing those cases and not let everything that's going on, COVID-19, Trump's executive order, put a chilling effect on your application. So keep moving forward. Just keep filing and absolutely file. The only thing that I can say is your petition might take a little bit longer than it did pre-COVID-19, okay? But if you wait, the longer you wait, then the longer your petition is going to take. I know that sounds like just common sense and duh, rather than why are you telling us that? But a lot of people wait. A lot of people hold. There's a procrastination thing, there's that aspect. There's a financial thing, potentially. There's I don't know how to file this, a knowledge thing. So, if you need help, reach out to us. We're here for you, but please don't wait to file because of everything that's going on. In fact, you should jump on it and file.
Move forward.
Tomorrow.
Always forward, never backward.
Yes, absolutely. So I think let's just wait a few seconds. I really, again, I have a great time. We have a great time talking to you guys.
Here's another question.
Okay, I do have DACA. My husband is a U.S. citizen. Would that make the process move up faster? So if you have DACA, if you came in with inspection, say you came in on a tourist visa or some other type of visa, and you're married to a U.S. citizen, and the question is, because I'm married to a U.S. citizen, is that going to make my process faster? You are already in the very fastest process that possibly there is, which is, the immediate relative of a U.S. citizen, but the processing times are the same for you and all the people that fall under your category, in this case, the spouse of a U.S. citizen. So the processing times are the same, but by virtue of your being married to a U.S. citizen, and if you came into the United States with inspected, then you're already in the fastest process. So I hope that answers your question. I know that sounds a little kind of weird, but basically you're in the fastest process there is if you enter the United States with some type of visa and now you're married to a U.S. citizen. So if I did not answer that question sufficiently for you, please shoot me a message on Messenger. You can just shoot it to our Gardner Mendoza Facebook page, or you can find me personally on Messenger. Radlin Mendoza is the name.
Look, Steve's joining us.
Award-winning filmmaker Stephen DeCastro, COVID-19 survivor.
Steve, we are so happy that you're home and healthy. We were praying for you, buddy.
And really good friend of ours. So we're happy that you're here, Steve. Joined us this morning for the sunrise, and now we are here for not the sunset, but towards the end of the day. So super excited about seeing. Okay, all right, so did I answer your question, Etney? Hopefully that did. Awesome. We had a lot of great questions today.
Yeah, for sure.
Really fantastic questions. If you guys are Spanish speakers, or if you know anyone who's a Spanish speaker, please join attorney Sarah Lawler on Fridays at noon. She will be coming on in a couple of days here and giving the same information in Spanish. And if you guys have questions, you can write them in her comments as well. And we're just here to help the community and put out as much information as possible so there's not misinformation out there, like the executive order being a 6-month thing as opposed to a 60-day thing. So that's the kind of stuff that really sticks out in my mind as far as information. So, all right, guys, I think we are at the end of our question line here. Yep. If you have any, please send them to us. There's so many ways to get in touch with us. You can call the office and just say, hey, I want to ask a question for the next Facebook Live. Our number is 757-464-9224. Messenger is super easy. You're right there. Boom, pop the question in. I will get the question. And I've been talking to a lot of people on Messenger from all around the country, the world. Is super exciting. I have like a whole bunch of new friends and stuff. So,
and again, if you have questions about your court date, you have questions about the PPP, shoot me an email and I will be happy to help you in any way that I possibly can. All
right. And if you guys want to just send an email to the office, it's info@gmlaw.net, info@gmlaw.net if you don't want to use Messenger or any of those other methods. But please like our page. Please share the page if you think this will be helpful to any of your friends or family. And also, we'll see you guys in Newport News and in Virginia Beach.
That's right.
Our two offices beginning May 1st. We're super pumped up and super excited. Thank you guys for all of your support and being here. Two thumbs up, guys. Are you guys doing two thumbs up? Awesome. Thanks for the love.
Hang tough. See you soon.
All right. Bye, guys.